Welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor and today we're going to be doing a TBR prompts pick my September TBR. But before I upload the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you love all things books. You know, it's not my dad mowing the lawn right now, it's our neighbor who's hired someone to mow their lawn. So you'd think it'd be a little less loud, but it's still annoying. Why is it every time I sit down to film this on a Saturday or Sunday, that's when the lawnmower decides that it's gonna run? But I don't want to film this any other time because I got shit to do this weekend. Oh well, I digress. If we're wondering how my TBR that I picked for the month of August is going, I've completed 2 books off of the 6 books that we picked. But I'm not surprised at that because, well, I'm just not surprised. I still have yet to complete a full 6-book TBR that I've picked per month this year, but hey, it's more of a to be considered or to be thought about list. These are the books that I'm just going to keep on my radar. But I have my Taylor Swift cup here with a bunch of prompts that we have to go through, you know. And if you've never seen one of these videos before, I pick 6 prompts, 6 books, 4 off of my physical TBR, 2 off of my Kindle ebook, audiobook TBR, because both are relatively long lists. And I have my Taylor Swift cup here with a bunch of prompts for us to go through and pick through. And I just added a few new books to my physical TBR, but I also got rid of 11 books, some from my physical TBR, some that I have read, because we are not keeping any books that, you know, don't serve us anymore. But I guess without further ado, let's pick the 6 prompts. Also, my little doggy is right there laying down, so if he walks over here during the video, that's a high possibility. But prompt number 1 is a random number generator picks. Okay, so I'm not sure how many books I have on there, so let's just go ahead and pull up the random number generator. I think last time I checked it was somewhere in the 45 to 50 range, so I'm just going to put it at 45. And we will be reading book number 28. So I will count down from my TBR, and whatever is 28 on that, we will read. The only caveat being that if number 28 happens to be in the middle of a series that I haven't started yet, then we may just read the first book in that series. All right, so our next prompt is a book with a green cover. One of the books that actually 2 of the books that I just bought that I have been highly anticipated reads for me have green covers, so we're winning with that one. Prompt number 3 is a little bit of a longer one. Oh, thank God. Novella / a short story collection. This one is great for me because classes start up again on August 24th, this Monday, and I just know my time and availability to do any reading is about to go downhill starkly come Monday. So having some short, quick reads will be, in fact, a great time for me. I just wonder if I have any of those already saved up and ready to go. Then we have a trope you normally hate. Well, lovely. I was so excited about the last one, but now we have to pick one with a trope that we normally hate. Lovely, lovely. We'll see. We'll see off that one. Okay, prompt number 5. Oh, another banger, under 300 pages. So we're probably going to be reading some short books this month, which is probably to be expected. Listen, bar the one prompt, the final book that we were picking is a free pick. I don't know if you can see, if it's not going to focus. A free pick, so I have free reign over whatever. And seeing as it is the start of fall, we're going to focus in on cozy. Well, cozy's not my favorite. In fact, I don't like a lot of cozy, but we're going to focus on fall time, spooky season-esque reads for that. So we have our 6 prompts here, and I think we're about to build out a banger of a TBR. I'm just going to have to start looking at page counts because I don't think I have any novellas or short story collections automatically on here. So we will have to look around, but let's go ahead and pick our physical TBR, or let's go ahead and pick our TBR. Let's go ahead and go pick the books that we're going to be reading in the month of September. So this is what the TBR is looking like right now. We are once again double stacked. But the first prompt is a random number generator, and it landed on 28. So let's go through and count. 1. How is it getting louder? How is it getting louder? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, perfect. We have ourselves a Demon X Demon Hunter romantasy to kick off the fall. I've heard great things about Half City by Kate Golden, and I do believe that this will be a perfect beginning of fall read. Next up, we have a green cover. Now, all of these are green or greenish in tone, and all of them are books by authors and in series that I absolutely love. First up, the newest addition to the TBR, Iron Tongue of Midnight. This would have me finishing the Forge and Fracture saga. So in the name of finishing series, we may want to pick this one. Then we have All Hell Chaos by Sarah Reese Brennan. I don't know if this is the conclusion to this series or if there's other books, but this one definitely is screaming fall. And then I punched an Alien and Now We're in Couples Therapy. This is a monster romance, which again does scream fall to me. However, I think we may want to put this one off because this is definitely more teal than green. But I think just because I've been waiting to finish the series off, Iron Tongue of Midnight by Brittany Ann Williams, I'm going to pick this one for green cover. While we're here, let's go ahead and get the free pick out of the way. I'm going to be reading Sunrise on the Reaping. I already have a plan to either do a TikTok short on me reading this full of spoilers or a full video on YouTube of me reading this full of spoilers. So that is our free pick. The mowing is getting louder. But I actually do have a short story collection on here, and that's Be Gay, Do Crime, a series of books about queer chaos. And it definitely gives like a fun, like it's giving back to school spooky season mystery thriller. I'm not 100% sure if all of the short stories in here are going to be very like fall spooky season, but the cover and like the vibes is giving fall season to me, so this is the one we're gonna pick. All right, so moving on to our 2 Kindle books, and I'm just gonna be pulling up the Kindle app on my phone because I think it is a little faster than pulling up my Kindle, which, you know, is she's a bit on her last legs. So the first one is a book that's under 300 pages. So I'm gonna have to do some snooping to see if any of these books are under 300 pages. Okay, so I'm just going to go with the first one I see because if I have to go through and check every one of these books to see if they're under 300 pages, it might be a bit of an interesting time. So I have Fan Service by Robin Jo Margaret, and it's a FMM Minotaur monster romance. And it looks like the cover says for Kinktober, so I guess it's supposed to be a kinky book that's supposed to be read during spooky season. So spicy and spooky, I guess, is the vibe that we're going for there. So we will add Fan Service for our under 300 page read. And then we need to add in a book that features a trope that you normally don't like. So here is the thing. There's a few tropes and instances that I don't love. We found out recently that vampire, gothic, dark isn't necessarily my thing. However, I have found a few within that genre that I do like. But 9 times out of 10, if it features those different vibes, probably a no for me. I also don't really love accidental pregnancy. I'm not huge into very, very taboo reads. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to think of here. I could continue the Filthy Duet by M.L. Burns, because in retrospect that book itself has a vampire MMC, and I don't normally like that, is a dark vibe, and is very much so heavy in its subject matter. All 3 things that I don't normally like to read, but I really did like the first book. I could pick up Twisted Love because I've heard that the man sings in the book, and you know what? Not something I particularly have a desire to read. I could pick up, well, I don't know if there's anything else on here that really, really... Then I have Loving a Vampire is Total Chaos. That's also another vampire story that could hit. I just, you know what? I'm not sure. In the name of keeping the good vibes going, I know this is picking a trope you hate, which I already have established that I do like the Filthy Duet. However, the Filthy Duet is fighting against all odds because it features an amalgamation of things that I don't normally like. But we're going to pick the conclusion to the Filthy Duet, and that is All Your Deadly Truths, so we can finish some series up. So let's go through all the books that I picked in for the month of September. So for the month of September, we have Be Gay, Do Crime, 16 stories about queer chaos. So it says, a follow-up to their runaway success, Peach Pit 16 Stories of Unsavory Women, editors Molly Llewellyn and Crystal Buckley return with Be Gay, Do Crime, a celebration of queer chaos from an all-queer author lineup featuring names that are enough text that making it hard for me to read. But yeah, there's I don't know, maybe I should just go in blind with this, but there's a few here that are interesting to me. That was our novella short story collection. Then for my free pick, because we plan on reading Sunrise on the Reaping as soon as possible, and we do plan on doing a vlog, or at least a short on it, I chose Sunrise on the Reaping. Then for random jumper generator picks, it picked number 28, which landed us at Half City by Kate Golden, which is a demon x demon hunter, dark academia, boarding school, college, romantasy, and I think it's forbidden enemies to lover situation. And I'm excited to pick her up because I feel like a lot of people really like that book, and I feel like fall is definitely romantasy season. Then for our green cover, we have Iron Tongue of Midnight by Brittany S. Williams, which is not showing up well on camera. This is the Into the Forge and Fracture Saga, which is a YA trilogy that is set in Shakespearean England following Joan Sands, who's been blessed by the Orisha god Ogun to essentially be able to call and make iron at will. And when the accords between Fae and humans break, she is the only one who is able to automatically make iron, the only thing that can mortally wound the Fae. This one's also queer, bisexual, and poly. Then for our books that we picked on our Kindle, we have Fan Service by Robin Jo Margaret, and this is a monster romance. It says, a famous adult entertainer, Roy, knows getting familiar with a fan is rarely a good idea. When she finds herself making exceptions for a polite and handsome minotaur, she realizes familiarity might not be her best idea yet. And that is our under 300 pages book, and that is 142 pages. And then the last book we picked for the month, which is a book that features a trope that you generally hate. We are picking All Your Deadly Truths by M.L. Burns. This is the sequel to All Your Deadly Lies? No, I can't remember that. All Your Bloody Lies? All Your Bloody Lies. It is a succubus x vampire dark romantasy situation. Seraphine is a succubus that is on the hunt to take down the 5 men/shifters who abused, assaulted her for months and then buried her alive over a decade ago. But the only problem standing in her way is Kai, who is the vampire detective attached to her case. But of course, the one problem that Kai never expected was to become obsessed with the succubus serial killer herself. And this is truly one of the most 5-star, 5 chili spice reads that I have ever read. But do check your trigger warnings for this book because, ooh, it deals a lot with sexual assault and rape in the book. So do keep that in mind. But those are the 6 books we chose for the month of September, and I'm quite excited. I mean, there is about a week until September comes our way, but I am very excited to dive into those books. But yeah. Let me know what y'all are going to be reading in the month of September. What is on the fall TBR? Are we leaning into the dark, spooky, or are we looking for something cozy and cutesy? Are we Gilmore Girls or are we Scream? I'm not sure. I've never seen Scream. I've never seen Gilmore Girls, but that seems like the vibes. And I will see y'all in the next one.